Hello and welcome back. Today we are back here at Roskilde Airport and we are going to fly a flight here in the Alabeo M20ROvation, and I would talk a bit about the GPS again, and we are just going to make some easy adjustments in the GPS just to get the general things working in there. So don't expect it to be any in-depth video as it is the stock GPS. I would really like to demonstrate the G10-750 for the Fokker or other aircrafts where that could be used for. Can't remember if this aircraft also can use it. I can't remember, but I would really like that device in order to demonstrate how easy it is to operate compared to anything else, because it really is easy. As you may know, that it was part of Airbus aircraft, and I was part of the testing of that, and I really liked that. But that was built into the aircraft, so here you have to buy the add-on separately. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, first off, what you normally would be used to is that it remembers your last flight plan. Whenever it was this aircraft, we was flying the Fokker yesterday, and then when we switch over to aircraft here, the flight plan would actually be here, even though it was from the FMS system. And the easy way is just go to the flight plan, press the menu button, and then scroll down and say delete flight plan. There we go. Then we can start planning our new flight here, and we are just going to fly here from Roskilde and up to Grenaa private airstrip, or how you say. So it isn't that far as such, and we are just going to be flying more or less directly. So we would just enter our destination here. We can go in and 74. I know here. Here we go. And the airfield is created by vidandesign. Then we can go in and remove the Roskilde waypoint, and we do that by pressing the clear button and then ask if we would like to remove it, and yes, we want. Now it is correctly. I could just have switched to the next line, and then we would have shown the Roskilde and then so on. But the reason I do not need Roskilde is that we're not going to fly any procedures out of Roskilde, and that is as well for most airports. When you're using the stock GPS, you don't really have many options for procedures, because normally you would have those procedures to select a departure and such. See, there are none for Roskilde. So you don't get much out of the stock GPS for procedures. So that's how that is. Okay. Now we lower the volume as we set the button for using headset, and the wind isn't noticeable we can't notice it that much. So it doesn't matter which direction we are taking off, so we are just going to make a right-hand turn here and then depart out to our left, as that would be the most direct to our destination. Do note that it is not making any line as right now, and that's on purpose because since we do not have Roskilde set and we removed it, it just knows that it should be flying to the Grenaa airfield. However, it does not set our current position when we are doing it that way, like it would be doing if Roskilde has been set first. So that's it. Okay, and we are using my small handy autopilot project here. It's gonna fly around, let's see, the cloud base there. 5,000 feet should be fine. And around 100 knots, could be a bit less as we are a small aircraft today. Just gonna move this one, and then we are going to do this here. And by the way, do note that I do not have as many mouse problems in this particular aircraft so far. Basically because of the interference that you have seen the previous days. Okay, so now we are just taxiing here, and the lights are set as we have set the aircraft to start with the engine running, so we could speed up the process. We are already up to around 7 minutes, so just to keep the recording time down. And do note that for this aircraft I am so far not using my project for the tiller, and that's of course on purpose, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense to use it as it is right now. Due to how things are linked in a small aircraft like this, as we don't have the tiller. So rudder and nose wheel is actually the same axis. So as you can see, we got around 65 nautical miles up to Grenaa airfield. That is created by vidandesign. I have been previewing it once, also in this aircraft, as far as I remembered on the channel. But I thought I would be flying to that destination instead of flying to Alabeo again, because in the end it gets too much of the good to just use the same airport over and over and over and over again. Even though of course it is more nice to see that, because it's an add-on airport instead of those stock airports here that you'll know anyway from the simulator. But I am limited on resources, so I don't have much compared to what I had in the past, so that's it. And here we are, ready for our takeoff. I just have to make sure that I have set the flaps And get the aircraft configured for our main takeoff here. There we go. Flaps set for the takeoff. It only has 2 stages for the flaps. It's a free switch lever, or knob you could say. Okay, here we go. Advancing the throttle here, and then off we go. We hope the weather would be a bit better when we come to our destination, and it is right here. But today the weather is a bit cloudy, even though there are a bit of sun from time to time. But that's another story. Okay, then I can open my my GPS and go in and say go to the flight plan, press the menu and say activate the lag. I could also have please press the direct button, but as you would have seen in some of my previous videos, you should be careful by doing that, because it can mess up your main flight plan in the GPS if it's not done correctly. It is very important that it is in the menu system, so that's something you have to be aware of. Okay, now we just switch on the autopilot here in order to fly our path here. Of course, you also have this panel here that comes with the aircraft. I just use my own little project because it's easier for me for those streamings here, as well as it gives me some other options that you don't have in the real aircraft. So yeah, it's a bit of a cheat. Let's increase the airspeed here, as the aircraft wouldn't be happy with me. Okay, and we are climbing out here, and then we have to get the throttles back here on mixture and prop. In order to fly more economically. Something you have to be aware of in an aircraft like this is actually to make sure that you switch between the tanks. You can see left tank and the right tank, how much fuel we actually got. You would get a master warning if you get into an imbalanced situation. Then the aircraft would actually alert us about the situation. The landing gear, that was why we didn't accelerate that much. I actually pressed the button, but again, from this position here, I did not notice the lever, else we would of course have seen the lever. But that's when you should start thinking what could be wrong. It's very important that you act when you actually see that the particular aircraft do not respond to our expectations, because it really climbs well. This aircraft has nice performance, and now I have used the cheat function with the auto throttle, even though the aircraft did not have it, but it is to keep our optimum airspeed. And as I have said, use it with caution, because in some aircrafts that is getting you into a situation where you actually can lose your engine. That's not the case here, because you can just set the throttle to full anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. But now we are just on our way here to Reno. Got around 55 nautical miles, 55 nautical miles, I should say. So now we only got 5 times of the distance left. So nearly, you can say. Yeah, the clouds are a bit lower than expected, the cloud base, but that's just for one layer. If there are more layers, we're not getting the information as such. For my configuration here, because there are is it 3 layers at a time. Now you can also see the base cloud layer where it is right now compared to before. Now it's 109, so now it's down to the ground level, and that's basically from based on our current position, but some of it can be the weather injection we did. So as you can see, even though it gives us some information, it is not fully accurate about the weather. But what I was saying is we got 2 base layers and 3 turbulence layers. And as you can see, I can't see which altitude it is. I could create some stuff so that you actually get more information out of it, but it is just to give me an indication of if we actually would be able to hit turbulence, and if it would be best for us to climb or descend. That's basically why I got those turbulence readings, because they would actually tell us if it's better to climb or descend. But so far it hasn't been useful, because it hasn't been showing in information yet, and that's basically because due to the fact that the weather is okay at the moment in Denmark, but also know that it can change anytime soon. And we got a nice temperature of 5 degrees outside. And when you think about it, you say 5 degrees, well, my opinion, it seems pretty decent temperature when you are thinking about it, that you are actually 5,000 feet up in the air. But it is, as they say, normally you can calculate what the temperature is up at your cruise altitude. And say if you take the temperature here on the ground, it is something like for every 1,000 feet the temperature would decrease by around 1 degree. So then you can start figure what the temperature would be up high. Or what the temperature is down by the ground layer. At the moment it would be around 10 degrees, even though that's a bit low, but you have to know that the temperature is taken from the sea level. And here you have the odd behavior of the weather of X-plane. It can seem like the cloudy as you saw in the beginning, and then see there again. The weather in X-plane is a bit wonky if you use the real world weather option. And the data isn't always that accurate, because depending on when the data is taken, some airports may not give information at all time, so the data explained get for a given airport might not be that accurate, because that it is not entirely that accurate. If you use a weather engine, you would see that it reflects a bit better what is in real life, even though you can't make anything about the main weather as such. What you could say that could probably be improved and would make it more realistic, even though it would have the side effects of not being 100% accurate. And that would actually be that it would slowly transform the weather from one set of weather data to another. That would make it a much more smooth experience, because that's some of the main issue we have with weather programs, because we have a rendition and certainly they update, and then we have a whole new picture just like before. It looked like this, and then suddenly we are in dark clouds and such, and then we get out of them again. So to make it more look like realistic, more smooth transformation from one weather scenario to another would be much appreciated. Also, the effect that it sometimes gives when it ejects the new weather, you know, if you have been flying X-plane or other simulators, then it's just here in X-plane you really see the effect sometimes that a strong wind suddenly blows into the aircraft and makes the aircraft, when it gets those new information, the aircraft tends to make some turns and such, because it actually gets new information. Like it's just, boom, here they are. And then it, of course, affects the aircraft. One of the nice things that you can see today is we do not have a entirely tailwind, but we still have a bit of wind. That helps us a bit, because the aircraft is being drifted in the direction that we are flying as well. So it helps us a bit. And that's also what you can see from our flying time. May have been around 8-9 minutes when we departed, and now we are up to around 26 minutes, so it isn't that bad for the main flight time here. And now we fly to Grenaa airfield. We have to make sure that we got no other traffic, and the runway is nice, so we have to do some visual inspection here just before landing. And that's nice. And we have to remember, now I was about to forget myself again, the fuel, so we don't get that fuel imbalance, because that would not be great if we have a too great fuel imbalance here, because that's not nice. And one note here, that if you have not seen this aircraft before or such, is actually, it's very nice that you could actually look out here and see how much fuel that you got in each wing. If you say you have an instrument failure or such, then you could actually just make your visual reference out of the windows. And during the night time you can set the flashlight, and then you can actually light up out on the wing, so you actually can be able to see out on the wing, as well as you could always light out on the leading edge of the wing in order to see if there would be any ice or such. That's what makes X-plane so nice. That's really flying during the night time as well. It is the whole glory in itself, even though I haven't been doing one night flying yet, but it would come, I guess. It would come. We are getting closer to the time where it gets darker and darker day by day. Sooner and sooner. So it would come. What you saw there was just me using my push button to open the autopilot project that I have made. In the latest version you have both options, either to set a button for it, and that's also why I just set it for an A now, so you can just push down here and open just like before. It's actually just to give you a quick spot to open it if you do not like to use a keyboard command for opening and closing the main panel. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of using the keyboard to open menus like that. Just like for add-ons here, you've got some option menus, so that's just what I made as well, so you actually could just click them and open it. But personal preferences is there. Around 12 nautical miles from the destination now, so we are certainly getting closer to the destination here. And I tend to like to watch it from this position. And as you can see, there are, of course, as well no procedure for the approach or arrival. If you look none clear. That's why I said that at some aspect it seems a bit limited, the stock GPS system, as well as sometimes the FMS is also quite limited. But anyway, in reality, flying sits and stars and all that is not making much of a difference, other than it makes it easier for air traffic control. But flying towards the airport and then manually fly around the airport is also no problem. So let's start our main descent here into Reno. Now you hear this irritating, annoying sound, and that is actually because it switched the throttle to fully idle, and that would start that horn. And what basically it is that the aircraft indicates to us that the landing gear is not down. Okay. We're getting close now, but let's see if we actually can be able to see the main airfield, because the visibility isn't the best, even though if you take the information from the airfield details, skies at 16,000, broken visibility 10, wind is light, so in reality there shouldn't be a problem as such. In order to keep going, and I switch off the auto throttle. There we go, back. So we would slow down now, and a nice thing in this aircraft is actually it has some speed brakes, as you can see, and they are really effective, as you can see. Really see how effective they are, those speed brakes, even though it seems a bit odd in a small aircraft like this that you actually have the speed brakes. But now I switch off the autopilot and yaw damper, and then we will be flying by hand into the airfield here. And you can say in a scenario like this, it might be a bit of a challenge to actually see where it actually is, even though I actually right now guess I know where the airfield is, and it is right down here on our left side. And I can say that because of the difference in the textures here. So I would pretty much guess it is right down there. Hopefully in a moment you can see down there. It is actually down there, right there. You can see the line down along like an alley with trees, and that's actually where we got the grass strip that we should be landing on. So as you can see, because the area is so small, it is actually pretty easy to spot the airfield if you're getting here at low altitude and such. Okay. Now let's get the landing gear down, as well as using a bit of speed brakes, so we actually can get ready for our main approach here. Here we go. Getting some flaps in, and then turning in for our main landing. Here. Just to the nose here, and then getting ourselves into idle throttle here. And here we go. And let's see how it all goes, because we need to stay on track here, but not get too close to those trees, of course. Here we go. There we go. Gently touched. And now we're just using the brakes, but you can see it isn't that easy to brake here in the grass here. And then we would just turn the aircraft all the way around here and then get back to the main airfield area here. Okay, let's get a bit of more sound back here, as it doesn't sound like we are in an aircraft as such. And yes, I forgot the mixture and prop, because I did not have the hardware for it. As well as I can't see it from this position here. But that's not the main purpose of the video. It is actually more or less to demonstrate how easy it actually is to operate the aircraft compared to reality. So people have their thoughts about things and complexity and all that. And in reality, it isn't that much, because a lot of add-ons are not that accurate by some aspects. You can really see those aircrafts that are done to reality standards. If you really would like to have a challenging aircraft, get the Jetstream 32. There you really have to manage your throttles, everything. It's a very slow aircraft, and such, and you really have to maintain the engines right, else they would burn, and that wouldn't be great. But also because it doesn't seem to have a lot of thrust for what it is, as well as on approach, the main target for your approach speed, it's very close from stall and such, and it can be a challenge if you don't maintain the aircraft correctly. Okay, so here we are at Greno Airfield, and we can just shut down the aircraft, and we will do so. Oh, my mouse again. That's why I tend not to use it for it, because it just doesn't work that well. Okay, then we can switch off all the instrument here. Oh, not that one. And then we are actually landed. Get the key over there. And there you have it. Welcome to Greno Airfield. A nice little project that John has made. There isn't much, but it still gives you an impression of being such a small airstrip. Private. But thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.